Over the last year, we've seen millions of people get laid off, furloughed because of the pandemic around us, right? While others have been left wondering if it's time to actually make a career move.
Our next guest says this may be a good time to look for a new line of work. Joining us is executive career coach Maggie Mistal. Hey, Maggie, good to see you.
Hey, good morning.
So where should someone start if they are looking to make a change in their career?
Sure. Well, most people go to the want ads, but I tell them no. First, go to yourself. Do your own soul search. It's very important for you to get clear on what's going to make you happy in that next job. And you know, you can't underestimate the power of even just looking at what motivates you and times in your life when you were excited about what you were doing, just to really get clues to what that career should look like. Go for the ideal first. That's what I tell people.
I like that. Look into yourself. You know, I do a series here called Pandemic Pivots. People who are doing one thing found their love and their passion and pivoted that into a career. It's not always easy, right? So what is your best advice to find that passion and then figure out the business model?
Sure. Well, to find that passion, it really does help to look at, you know, the people you admire, right? Think of the folks that are doing things that you would love to do. That's a great way to get those clues to what would make you happier. And then there's this step in between. A lot of people, you know, take a passion and say, okay, I'm going to make a business out of it, or I'm going to get a job. And I say, don't go soul search, then job search. Do this great step in between called research. Talk to people in and around that field first, because you want to look before you leap. A lot of the career pivots that I've seen work successfully are the folks who've taken the time to gather information, to test it out even for themselves by piloting a project. If it's a new business, you can do a project for friends and family. Give yourself that time to test it out. That research between soul search and job search really makes a big difference.
A lot of people say, you know, I'm just fed up with this. I can't do it anymore. I'm quitting. I'm going to go chase my passion, which is what we're talking about here. But some might argue, you know what? Try to do that as a side hustle, if you will, just for a little bit to see if it works before you get off of that payroll, especially in a pandemic.
I think that's a great idea. I did that with my coaching practice almost 20 years ago. I wasn't ready to give up a steady paycheck. And a lot of side hustles can't support you right away financially. And you don't want that financial pressure to have to make a living right away from a new fledgling business. That's just too much stress, and I think can ruin the business idea itself.
Yeah, but you know, there are millions that
encourage people.
The side hustle is great, but the millions of people don't have that opportunity to even think about it or worry about that income because they don't have a job, right? They've already been laid off. So what are the do's and don'ts of a plan moving forward if you already find yourself without that steady income and that steady paycheck?
Sure. Well, the do's are to focus on what you would like to see happen. One of the challenges with people that I've talked to who've been out of work for a period of time is they can get down on themselves. They can start to feel it's them or something's wrong with them. They can't get the interviews or they can't get the job. And I always tell people it's not you. It's the fit between you and the job that you really want to find. And then you won't have any problem finding opportunities. You know, ultimately, you want to absolutely think about the situations and the people in your network who you loved working with in the past and reach out to them. Let them know, yeah, I'm available, yeah, I'm looking for work, but also share that career dream, that ideal scenario that I was talking about earlier. You soul search and dream about, give yourself permission to daydream and think about where would I be happiest, and then start sharing that with your network.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a much more positive conversation than you know, people do feel bad, but we can't always, you know, what helps us move forward is inspiration, not fear.
Absolutely. I want to bring in the team as we talk about that, because I think a lot of people, when they look at these people with amazing careers and fields that you're like, I didn't even know that existed, living out their dreams. How did they get there? Well, they got there because they chased that passion.
Yeah, and you can talk to them. That's the beauty, right? You can actually talk to these folks. People say, well, why would someone talk to me about their career? I'm like, are you interested in what they do? Are you impressed by them? Would you somehow love to even, you know, remotely do what they do? I love to give informational interviews. And people say, Maggie, I'd like to do what you do someday, or I'd like to understand how you became, you know, who you are today. I'm happy to share my story. Everybody is. We all have a story to tell, and we love to share with others if it's going to help them. So I say reach out to those people that inspire you and let them know they're impressive to you, they're inspiring to you, you love to learn from them and see how they mentor you. You never know what could help.
Yeah, do you see remote work being a thing, right? Because like, look at Maggie Mistal, for example, to your left in the box, right? She is usually either at her home or in the studio. She's now in Florida, able to still broadcast, still do the thing.
Good for you.
Right? I know, she's working hard. But remote work, I mean, how much is that going to play a factor into it all?
Everything that I read says that remote work is going to continue for a very long time. There are even employers right now that will hire you even if you're not in their local area. the boundaries, I call it location independence. That's what I call it. And I think that's here to stay. So you don't have to be tied. If you like working from home, great. If you don't have to either. I really think we're going to have a lot more flexibility and choice. And if you like that location independence where you can live anywhere, but have a job where you can live across the world or live in different places at different times of the year, that's absolutely possible. It's always been possible. I've actually had that for the last 10 years myself. But now it's more mainstream, and a lot more employers are open to it. But I've had clients create this kind of situation for themselves all along. Now it's just something more common.
So when people do that job search, right, don't just look in your particular area, because it's possible to work across the country but not to have to move.
What are you doing, Ben? You
Absolutely.
okay?
I even had a friend who was posting
Are you
a job
working
and she
from
needed to
work?
make it local.
No, she said talk to someone who inspires you. So I'm currently texting David Hasselhoff to find out how I can make $3 million just by running on a beach
The
with
Hoff,
Pamela
right?
Anderson.
In slow motion, too.
That's it. No biggie. You inspire me.
All right, Maggie, thanks so much for talking to us today.
Hasselhoff,
We
two
appreciate it.
S's.
My pleasure. Have a great day.